Something a little different today. I was approached by a Bionicle fan called That Creature, and they put together this awesome concept for what Bionicle G3 could look like. A pitch, a proposal of how the theme might look if it returned once again. So let's take a look, shall we? Let's dream. Let's imagine if the dream came true, if Bionicle returned once again. We're going to start off with the overall concept for a proposed G3. So the concept is really trying to stay realistic, focusing on a lot of modern design language within modern LEGO, and really keeping in mind elements and pieces that are still in production today, with a few, proposed new pieces. The general storyline for this G3 concept really tries to improve on some of the pitfalls of Bionicle G2, but also bring back ideas from the original G1 Bionicle. For example, the story focuses less on the Toa and more on the little guys, the villagers. We hone in on them and their struggle against the ravenous beasts that surround their islands. A good focus on the characters. I like that. So all of that is going to be captured with a mix of Lego bricks and some Technic parts. Yeah, okay, it's going to be different to your old style Bionicle pieces, but I think that's just how it's going to be, right? If Bionicle is going to return, I think it's going to be in that direction. Introducing hundreds of new molds to create similar style pieces to what we had before. That's going to be expensive. That's going to be a big financial risk. System bricks, Technic pieces, it's much more realistic. And it's gonna look good, isn't it? But the new molds being introduced, well, of course they would be masks. That's the main collectible gimmick, right? That's like the best part of any Bionicle set. The face, the mask, the helmet. You gotta have that piece feeling fresh, new, and different. Got a few sketches of what that might look like. It's nice, isn't it? It feels pretty in line with what we had in G1 and G2 Bionicle, but it's all rolled up into something a little more different. And check out these gorgeous, accent lines. Little bit of decoration. Even got a few images here showcasing what the masks might look like in reality, with a cheeky little 3D print. Ooh. So the concept also proposes new weapon pieces. They make reference to actual Polynesian weaponry. Continuing with this concept pitch for G3, the overall ideas, well, something that Creature really emphasized in this pitch is cultural authenticity. They talk about how Bionicle is really at its strongest in the early years, back on that island of Matanui. The part of the story that had the strong inspirations of Maori culture. Of course, back in 2001, that Maori inspiration was subject to a lawsuit from Maori tribes. And to directly quote Creature, who came up with this pitch, we do live in a post-Moana world. Should LEGO seek the help of, native Polynesian cultural advisors, well, maybe there would be minimal issues with that perceived appropriation. And the insights of those people and that culture would be adapted to the toy line in a very respectful way. And it would serve that extra level of authenticity. Yeah, I think that's really important. So look, that's the overall idea, the overall concept. The concept proposed by Creature. I like it. So, let's take a look at what the sets might look like in this G3 proposed idea. Creature pitches 4 types of sets. The villagers, small boats, the Toa, and then larger sets. But something these sets are going to focus on that's very important is affordability and simplicity. That's something that really worked in G1 Bionicle. Bringing that back, it's only logical. And in a world where toys and sets are very expensive, yeah, I guess this really makes it different from everything else. It makes it stand out. And that's important, right? So the smallest sets, they're going to be the villagers. Each one consisting of about 30 to 35 pieces. which would be perfect for a little polybag-sized set. Or maybe something akin to your, blind bag boxes. Like the Mario sets. The ones that they don't really make anymore. That could be cool. Each set would come with a very simple weapon and 2 masks. One mask would be predetermined, the other random. See, I like this. Turning this into both a set and one of your classic mask packs. A 2-in-1 deal, genius. The set would ideally cost about $5 US. The next set, the next concept, well, it would contain one villager and a small boat. The boats take inspiration from Polynesian sailboats. Here is Krisha's representation of what that could look like. Nice mix of Technic and system pieces. It's good. This model here is under 100 pieces, so it would ideally cost about $10 US. Maybe a little more. Where's the sail, you might be asking? Good question. Well, stay tuned. Up next, the toa. Of course, we'd get 6 toa, each one being built with about 130 pieces. And of course, they'd have a unique mask. Oh, but they'd also come with a cool cloth piece. The garment looks so good on the toa. It ties back into that Polynesian inspiration, and most importantly, it can be repurposed as a sail. A sail for the boats. I like that bit of integration. Ideally, each toa would cost about $15 US. Now for the largest sets in the wave. Again, we'd see boats, but this time a lot bigger, and they would come with 2 villagers. But they'd also come with an animal that's attacking the ship. Hey man, one of my favorite things about early Bionicle? The Rahi, the creatures, all of those animals that inhabit this rich world. It's so good to see a focus on them. Yeah, this octopus with spinning tentacles. Krisha also proposes a snapping turtle, a spinning manta ray, an angry crab with treads, and a dope-looking bird with propellers. Each one of the animals being loosely based on creatures that you would find in the Pacific Ocean. The larger sets would of course vary in pieces and price, so they'd be anywhere between $20 and $100. Dude, I love what I'm seeing here. These proposed sets feel so fun. Yeah, the heavy focus on boats and sea travel. I think that concept is a really interesting way to differentiate this from anything that we've seen before from Bionicle. And I'm always going to be a fan of more and more cloth elements. I just love those pieces. I like too that the colors for each of the characters are, callbacks to the classic color schemes. But there's a few new, accent colors, just to spice things up. However, Krisha proposes a different idea for Pahotu. Remember, back in the day, LEGO abandoned the idea of brown armored Bionicles. The reason was, well, they didn't sell as well as other sets. So perhaps this tribe's color wouldn't be brown, it might be something different. The color scheme has undergone a lot of iteration and ideation, and actually, Krisha hasn't locked in the color scheme. But what do you think? Which one is best? Let me know. Or heck, do you think classic brown is actually the way to go? So that's the sets. They're pretty cool. But what about the lore? The lore, the story. Well, I think that's actually really important. It's arguably the biggest selling point of Bionicle itself. Well, Krisha states that they're not Polynesian, and they don't really feel that it's appropriate for them to create a fictional mythology based on one that they have very limited knowledge of. And I suppose that's fair. Still, the rough idea of seafaring villagers hopping from island to island and taking down dangerous beasts that get in their way. That's great. And I can only imagine that there would be some sort of quest for the rare legendary mask, whatever that might be. And yeah, some sort of evil villain pulling the strings, a villain that the Toa have to take down. I can see all of that being a possibility. But Krisha also did map out a few, plot points, stating that the villagers now live on 6 different islands, not one island, like we often see. So this means that them sailing around is quite crucial to the plot, and these wild beasts would be a threat to the communication and the trade between the villagers. Krisha also abandons the name Matoran, and instead the villagers are called Tagata. Hey, you know, G2 Bionicle did the same thing. The Matoran were called Agori. I'm okay with this, I think it works. They also propose that Liwa is now a Toa of plant life instead of air, and maybe Pahatu can become the Toa of air instead of stone. Krisha states that, you know, there's always a bit of confusion about stone and earth. They're very similar elements. So changing stone to air makes it a little different. Krisha also proposes making Liwa a female character just for a bit more diversity. All in all, I think this is a really fun concept. It's very enjoyable to see a mix of system and technic, and it's charming and delightful to imagine all these new molds, new pieces, and new ideas. And I like a lot of the differences to what we've seen before in the world of Bionicle. But at the same time, this feels very close to its original roots. Isn't it always a blast to imagine what Bionicle could look like if it returned? Maybe this is your sign to come up with your own concept for G3 Bionicle. I'd love to hear your pitch. So I hope you enjoyed this slightly different video today, and I hope you had fun imagining and dreaming about what Bionicle could look like if it returned. And thank you, Krisha, for sending this awesome pitch. It was really fun, and you put in a lot of good hard work. Nice job. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy building, and bye for now. Krisha also said that this concept was heavily inspired by two other creators, Skybird and Lemony Lapid. Additionally, those new pieces were made by DC Makin Art. So shout out to all of them.